Good evening. Welcome to the Joliet Junior College regular board meeting of trustees, Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. Karen, can you call the roll?
Trustee Broderick?
Present.
Trustee Garcia Gann?
Present.
Trustee Harris?
Present.
Trustee Lee? Trustee Morales?
Here.
Trustee Queenie?
Here.
Trustee Bazinski?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Again, I would like to welcome everyone. I know we have some speakers here tonight that are sitting in a row all by themselves. We'll hear from them in a little bit. And we're going to go to item 1.13, the Pledge of Allegiance, and it's going to be led tonight by Fatina Sayag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 1.2, communications. Kelly Roder-Tonelli.
Good evening, everyone. As you know, I get the pleasure each month of highlighting a special community partnership that the college has with so many amazing organizations, whether those be social service, workforce development, other educational entities. And tonight I'm pleased to welcome Pete Colorelli with ExxonMobil. Exxon very generously invested $25,000 to support our technical programs. And so that's anything from electrical and electronic automated systems, electronics engineering, operations engineering, technology and technician, welding, you name it. This supports over 2,000 students. And we've invited Pete here tonight to talk a little bit about why that investment was so important. So Pete, come on up. And thank you, Pete, for wearing purple.
Thank you to the trustees for inviting me and for Kelly for inviting me as well here tonight. I wanted to talk a little bit about how this donation came to be, and I wanted to start by saying that it had its origins in the recent historic storms that we experienced here in the region. And when that happened, if you don't know, the refinery where I work, ExxonMobil, was knocked out of service due to loss of electricity for about 6 weeks. But our company culture is beyond looking at what we need to do to get back up and running again, to look at the community and see if there are any ways that we can support the community. And so one of the first names that came to mind was Joliet Junior College, because of that strong partnership that Kelly just mentioned a moment ago. And so what I wanted to do was say, it's our honor to provide this to Joliet Junior College, but there's a reason why it happened, and it has everything to do with the people in this room and the staff that you've hired to support the college. That is why I thought of Joliet Junior College when I was thinking about ways to help support the community. I knew that you had suffered a great loss in your downtown campus due to the tornadoes or this extreme weather. I reached out to Dr. Namuo and to see if I could find out what that, or kind of assess what the damage was to the campus. And as we were working through that process, we found that probably the best way we could support Joliet Junior College is by supporting that partnership that already exists in the technical programs that Kelly mentioned a minute ago. There are 6 programs here now at the college that provide the expertise for your students to compete for jobs at our refinery. And those jobs are $70,000 a year jobs out of the gate. And if your students are hired by ExxonMobil, they can earn much, much more in overtime. So we're talking about, depending on how much free time those future employees have, upwards of $100,000 a year shortly after they're hired by the refinery. And so it's very important what you do for your students, because it's a very competitive market. While there are workforce issues in the community, these are some of the jobs that are very, they're sought after by a high number in our population. They're excellent jobs. We provide pensions and, as I said, a high salary. And so what we try to do with the college is to cooperate on scholarships to help those students who may not necessarily be able to afford an education here in those technical programs at Joliet Junior College. There are some that just need a little bit more of a nudge to get over the hump and receive the excellent formation they receive here at Joliet Junior College. So that $25,000 is earmarked now to support that program. But I also wanted to say that you may not know this, and I wanted to take an opportunity to highlight it. We have an internship and a co-op program with Joliet Junior College, and right now we have, I think, 2 interns on staff. That's about a 3-year relationship that we've had with the college, and we have 4 mechanical co-ops on staff. That we've enjoyed that partnership for over 17 years, maybe longer. And the reason that's important is those internships and mechanical co-ops help us to see if your students have the qualifications to have a long career at ExxonMobil, and the students get a feel for what the job might look like to make sure that this is someplace he or she might want to stay for the rest of his or her careers. So that's really important, but I'll end with this. Again, the reason why Joliet Junior College came to mind is the hard work that you're doing in the community to make yourselves present and to know the community. I know that it was a difficult choice when you chose Dr. Namuo as your president. Maybe it was an easy choice. I don't know. I wasn't part of the process, but I'll say this. One of the first things I noticed when he walked into the role was that he made a concerted effort to know the community. And he knew that by knowing the community, he could know the best ways that the college could meet our needs and maybe the ways that the college wasn't. And he could maybe craft some programs that could do that. And so that's one of the reasons why I thought of the colleges, the work that not only Dr. Namuo, but those who preceded him and the staff here, and O'Brien's here as well, all the work that they've done to get out into the community to find out how can Joliet Junior College help those around us. The one example I'll offer, I know I'm talking a long time, but there's so much to say. We host Joliet Township High School students at the refinery for a half a day. We do a men's career conference and a women's career conference. And during those days, students from Joliet Junior College come in, and it's kind of like a speed dating atmosphere. Our employees come into the room, the students sit at tables, and then our employees rotate from table to table and talk about their experiences in the energy industry. And the students then have opportunities to ask questions to see what the best pathway might be for that student to achieve what our employees have achieved. It was Joliet Junior College when they found out about that program said, we'd like to be there for that. And the reason that's important is as we're talking to them, the students at Joliet Township High School about the jobs that are available at the refinery, we can make that important link to Joliet Junior College and say the best way for you to get here is by attending a technical program at Joliet Junior College. There's no way that would have happened if the college wasn't making taking overt action to learn about opportunities like that, and by developing the relationships that you've developed with ExxonMobil. So I'm honored to help support the program through the $25,000 donation, but it is because of the work that you're doing that it was possible. Thank you for giving me a moment to speak to you today.
Chairman, may I? Yes. So Pete, on behalf of JJC, we just want to say thank you so much for not only articulating that our visions align, but for allocating the resources, and for the board, just for your understanding. This donation is one line in a long list of donations over the last 10 to 12 years from ExxonMobil to support students in our technical departments, students in our CTE programs. And Pete, Pete and I run in the same circles. We see each other at least 2.7 times a week. Saw you yesterday, saw you here today. And when Exxon was experiencing what they were experiencing, the refinery was down for some time. Normally, I'm the one to reach out to people when they're experiencing, struggle. Pete reached out to us first as we were both experiencing different types of adversity. So I just want to thank you, Pete, for your friendship. It was a great text to get, and in the midst of all that you were dealing with at the time, for you to make that effort just means a lot. JJC community thanks you.
You're welcome. And if I could mention one last thing I forgot to mention, we are organizing, JJC and ExxonMobil are going to be coordinating a check presentation at the refinery Dr. Moore is invited. Any of the board members that are here today are invited as well. The reason we're doing it at the refinery is we're inviting our JJC grads to work at the refinery.
Nice.
To be part of that check run.
That's great.
So we'll make sure you're all aware of it, and you're all invited to come visit the refinery and meet some of the fine products that you created through the.
There you go. There you go. Thanks, Pete.
Thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Item 1.3, recognition of retirement. Dr. Amy Gray.
Good evening, Chairman Budzinski, trustees of the board, JJC community. It is my honor to provide congratulatory remarks for Lori Chansey. She is an adjunct instructor in our nursing program. She's been here for 16 years, started in our healthcare continuing education program, and really was a permanent fixture in the evening sessions, especially with our CNA and basic nursing programs. She, of course, not only taught the students, attended meetings, went to workshops, conferences, took on learning hybrid teaching, and just always went the extra mile. So she recently, just this month, sold her home in Joliet and has moved to North Carolina with her daughter, where she is enjoying the this next exciting time in her life. So I just want to say thank you for everything that she did for JJC and our students for the last 16 years, and we wish her the best.
Item 1.4, 141, approval of October as National Disability Employment Awareness Month proclamation.
Chairman, we need to approve the recognition first.
Oh,
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
item 1.4.1, approval of October as National Disability Employment Awareness Month proclamation. Robert Morris.
So,
Chairman Budzinski, trustees of the board, members of the JJC community, it is my sincere pleasure to introduce to you this evening Adrian Williams Sr. Adrian is a father, a son, a husband, a grandfather, a small business owner, and a JJC student. Returning to school in 2020 after a long absence, he found his support systems, his passion for automotives, and the joy of serving others during his time at JJC. Adrian is the vice president of the JJC Disabilities Awareness Club. He serves as a peer mentor and is enrolled in automotive classes. He is striving to become an entrepreneur and own his own auto shop.
Thank you for that, sir. Thank you for that, sir. I appreciate the opportunity to. National Disability Employment Awareness Month. Whereas in 1990, the American with Disabilities Act, ADA, was signed into law. ADA is a civil rights legislation that works to increase the inclusion of people with disabilities in all aspects of the community life, including employment. And whereas National Disability Employment Awareness Month is a nationwide campaign celebrating the skills and the talents workers with disabilities bringing to our workplace. And whereas the month of October is designated to reflect the important role diversity plays in the workplace. And whereas Joliet Junior College advocates, respects, and includes for every individual by demonstrating courtesy and civility in every endeavor. And whereas Joliet Junior College pledges to promote and recognize the diverse strengths of its employees and students, and to value and celebrate the unique attributes, characteristics, and perspectives of every individual. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Illinois Community College, District Number 525, Joliet Junior College, counties of Will, Grundy, Kendall, LaSalle, Kankakee, Livingston, and Cook, states of Illinois hereby proclaims the month of October as Disability Employment Awareness Month in Illinois Community College District 5/25. Adopt this 11th of September 2024. Thank you.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to move item 1.5 after 1.9.
Second.
So when?
After 1.9.
Okay.
So people that need to leave can leave early, so we might take several minutes in that closed session.
Are we ready to vote?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Buzinski?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Yes.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
Yes.
Trustee Queenie?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 1.7, public comments. Karen, do we have any public comments?
I do not.
Thank you. Item 1.8, a moment of silence. Dr. Namuel.
Chairman Budzinski and members of the JJC community, I'm asking the college community to join me in a moment of silence for the following individuals. First, Violetta Lara, a JJC student. Next, Dr. Jacqueline Solfranc, JJC retiree and foundation donor.
Can we also add the memories of our 911, since today is a very memorable day that happened 23 years ago, to all of those that suffered and died for us.
Thank you, Dr. Namuel. Item 1.9, selected reports. 1.9.1, the Entrepreneur and Business Center report. Dr. Amy Gray.
Thank you, Chairman. It is my pleasure and my honor to introduce Brian Kincaid, who is the manager of our Entrepreneur and Business Center, as well as Bettina Sayeg, who is our coordinator, and they're going to share some amazing things going on in the EBC.
The secret of getting ahead is getting started. That's a quote by Mark Twain. And while starting and running your own business is exciting, it can also be very stressful. It can feel like overwhelming, like the responsibilities of the world are sitting on your shoulders. Well, esteemed Board of Trustees, cabinet members, and guests, my name is Bettina Sayeg, and I have great news. The Entrepreneur and Business Center at Joliet Junior College is here to deliver business advising and support services at no cost so that no small business in our community ever feels alone. We help entrepreneurs grow, and we train the next generation and future business leaders, especially those from non-traditional backgrounds. We are an outreach program, and we aim to level the playing field for underserved businesses. We do that by keeping our program vibrant and relevant, and we give our community options that work for their specific needs. What does that look like? Well, you can meet with an advisor one-on-one and build a custom growth plan. We'll check in with you every 2 weeks. You can get help writing your business plan. We can even help you build 3 years of financial projections to understand the viability of your idea. Do you prefer to learn in a group and network with other entrepreneurs? Sign up for one of our classes. We believe these are valuable options, and we can tell you that our system works. Since May of 2022, these numbers can tell a story of progress and of hope. We've served over 150 clients. We have celebrated the opening, expansion, or funding of 30-plus businesses. We are thrilled to also welcome 9 new brick-and-mortar locations to our community. We love the numbers, but behind the numbers are the people, and they are what truly matters. Their goals, their families, their stories. I'll tell you a few stories of clients that we've worked with. Zinnia Montiel had a home daycare business, and she came to us for help with expansion. After working with one of our advisors for months on planning and financials and preparation for lending, Zinnia received a $150,000 lending from Huntington Bank's Lift Local business program. So she was able to go from 15 students at home in her home daycare to now having a location with a capacity for 63 children. Marzelle Richardson is a name you probably all recognize. Richardson's restaurant in downtown Joliet is a staple. This is a great example of our community partnerships. We heard of a grant being offered through University of St. Francis. We connected with Marzelle, and through his hard work and effort, he earned a $40,000 grant to help renovate his space. Next is one of my favorite clients, Tanisha Thompson. This woman is an entrepreneur. She's vibrant. She's lovable, and she will not take no for an answer. She came to us for help expanding her candle making business. Her entire kitchen is full of wax and fragrances and jars, and Tanisha needs help to take her business to the next step, rebrand, and have a stronger online presence to become a more holistic company, which she will call It's a Lit Vibe. And Mr. Duran Neighbors is a great example of the nonprofits that we work with. Tomorrow Starts Today is a grassroots local organization helping children, school-age children on Joliet's east side. And Duran's entire mission is to help rebuild the fabric of the community that he helped tear down as a youth. Now he's come back with a new mission to help those kids, to not only provide them with school supplies and mentorship, but most importantly, with a brighter future. One of the greatest things we get to do at the EBC is to celebrate the successes of our clients. And I invite you to please enjoy this highlight video of our amazing 2024 that is a year of growth and collaboration. Thank you for allowing us to honor our clients in this way. And now I introduce Manager of the EBC, Brian Kincaid.
Thank you, Patina. For a group of entrepreneurs, that's pretty good for a 2-year-old startup and only 1 year after full funding. So we've had a lot of good success. And like the rocket in the video, there are success stories that were too late to print. We had 2 woman-owned businesses get funding this week, and another business presented to a high school group of the Joliet high schools that's an entrepreneurship class. So the successes keep going. It's nearly weekly. We have something to share. and that's all rooted in our community contacts. We get out, we're at chamber events. We were at the ABBA Expo a couple weeks ago where we interacted with 3 EBC clients that were there selling their products and thriving, and picked up 1 new client while we were there, at least. Those are very important. We work with LEDA very closely. I know they've spoken to this group in recent months. And we do an intro to entrepreneurship in Spanish that was a big win for everyone, really. A lot of people are doing that already have a side hustle going, but they're taking it legitimate. They're learning about getting funding, learning about the risks of being in business and properly insuring themselves and taking care of things, and it's really, really been a great asset for the community. We're starting our 5th one in October, 5th cohort, so that's an ongoing program that we keep repeating. Of course, to make all this happen, we have to have a great team, and we've been very lucky to build a good team. Of course, everybody is involved in that, the HR department, recruiting, and I'd like to just take you through what an EBC client sees when they come in. They get to meet with Jeff, who has for 17 years been teaching at JJC as an adjunct professor. He taught business plans and entrepreneurship classes, and you can imagine how important that becomes to somebody that has an idea but needs structure. We've got Priscilla, who we're very lucky to have. She she speaks Spanish. She's done those intro to entrepreneurship series that we talked about. She has a great background in finance. She's worked for different banks, and she also is a certified economic development planner. So I mean so when somebody's looking to do something downtown or where there's a lot of involvement with government entities, it's a good asset to have. We have a new member on our team, Deborah. She has 17 years of experience as a coach and business consultant coming to us. And she opens up her meetings with new clients. What problem are you trying to solve? And it really is an eye-opener for a lot of new entrepreneurs to get situated and see if they're in the right place and the right mindset to take on that type of venture. We have Chris with us. She started with us in the Connect to Your Future program through Workforce Development. She's got a strong digital media background. She meets with clients individually for marketing, website, and social media development. And she's a JJC graduate. We also have Bella, who manages our social media and assists with clients, and she's working on her degree in business analytics right now. And of course, you met Bettina. She's strong in marketing and has a great background in commercial real estate. And if you've never signed a commercial lease, you want to come hear from somebody that's been there to know how to do that. So I'd like to introduce our great team. They come in every day to build other people's success, and it's an honor to work with them each day. We paused some of our seminars and things, but you can see we've got a busy schedule now that we'll be getting back to City Center here in a few days. So a lot of good programming coming up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Item 1.9.2, the Faculty Union Report with Dr. Bob Marsink.
Good evening, Chairman Budzinski, President Namuo, and board. And that will be longer than my actual report. I have almost nothing, but I do have one thing I just want to say. Main Street started today. It was incredible. I mean, the hallways were just packed with students looking for opportunities to get involved. And so I was just, I mean, it's always good. It's great that we're back from those horrible COVID years, but today was exceptional. And one other thing, Ryan reached out. He will be reaching out for the ICCTA survey, correct? For a student survey, and I promised him that I would reach out to faculty once I have the flyer and that, to encourage them all to encourage their students to take part in it. Okay? And that's right there. And I'm sure you'll talk about it later. right?
Yes, I'll share more
Yeah.
updates about the survey
Yeah.
and the project later on today.
Yeah, I didn't have much to say. I had to say
I
something.
appreciate you sharing. Thank you. And
Oh,
thank
no,
you for all
we'll
your
definitely
help
do
with
that.
this.
And that's all I have for this
faculty.
evening, so thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Item 1.9.3, the Adjunct Faculty Union Report. Dr. Barbara Wilhen.
I just want to say that I'm here even earlier than I was last time, so I'm going to hold you to this time. I want to thank you for allowing me to be here this evening. I think that we've gotten a really great start to our semester. We have not heard a lot of complaints from our adjuncts, so that's a good thing. I noticed one thing the other night. One of the things about our adjuncts is many of them teach in the evening here, and as I was leaving the building at about 9:30 on Monday night, I realized that all of the lights along the sidewalk in between D and E building are no longer working. So I didn't know, I was going to send an email to someone, but I thought, well, I'm here. I'll let somebody know here, and maybe we can pass that along to whomever is in charge of that. It is very nice also. I want to commend our JCA police force because it's really nice to see them rolling through all of the parking lots being that late. I know I've actually come out before when there have been coyotes in the parking lot, so it's really nice that they're there and are willing to, hang around if anyone needs anything. But that's all I have this evening. If anyone has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer.
Does the board have any questions?
I do. A question I had, because I sub, and some of the teachers in the high school, do we put out there how they can become an adjunct? Because all of a sudden now there's a growing interest with some of the high school teachers to be adjuncts. They're getting closer to, the end, and they'd like to do something more. Is it on the website?
I don't know whether it is on our website or not. It's something I can check. The biggest problem that I will tell you with most high school teachers with regards to teaching at the community college level is credentialing. Especially over the years, the IBC has been very, very strict with credentialing within your area. And so back in, I want to say the 90s, it might have been a little easier to be an adjunct, but now because our standards are so high and we want our faculty to represent that and, with all their students, regardless of whether they are adjunct or full-time, most probably wouldn't qualify.
Is that regards the master's certification too?
Not certification necessarily, but for instance, in chemistry, if you have a master's degree, you must have a master's degree in chemistry, which means that you have matriculated through the master's level chemistry coursework. Whereas most high school teachers don't have to have, many of them don't even have to have bachelor's in the area, let alone a master's degree. Most teachers have master's degrees in education. Or administration or something like that. They don't actually have it within their fields. And so that is the preclude. But the high school that I teach at, we actually have 4 adjuncts here at JJC from my high school.
Well, that's good. Well, it's good to know because when they find out that you're with JJC, they say, oh, we got an interest, and it'd be good to know. So is there any way that we can get something to give to them at all?
I don't know. I mean, I'm more than willing to take and send to anyone that I know.
Well, I'll give you the teachers' names at Lockport then.
Sure, yeah. Or just give me the union. I can send it out to their union too.
Got it.
That kind of thing.
I will do that. Thank you.
No problem.
I think you need to give that to Dr. Namuon and he can route it over.
That would probably be a great idea. Because
Yeah,
maybe there's even a place
as
on
board members,
both.
we need to direct all information to the president and then
I'm for
he'll
that.
filter it over.
I think that's fantastic. And that would be a great thing to make a little bit easier too, everywhere on the website. Because I know we went through our website that is linked through JJC. And we found that it was kind of antiquated and hadn't been updated in a while. So we've been working on that too over the last year. So for sure, that
Thank you.
we always
Thank you
want
for
to do
that
everything the right
information.
way.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you
very
for
much.
the update, and also thank you to all the adjunct faculty teachers who stay here in the evening and teach those evening classes to our students.
Thank you.
Since we just met 2 weeks ago, items 1.9.4, 9.5, and 9.6, none of the committees has met since then, so there'll be no committee reports. We're going to move to 1.9.7, the president's report.
Chairman, thank you. Looking for the clicker here. There we go. Thank you. Well, Chairman and Trustees, it's my pleasure to kind of highlight some of the successes at JJC. We'll get an enrollment update about midway here. I just want to take a moment, though, something that's not on my slides. Each year, the Joliet Chamber of Commerce, Council for Working Women honors someone who exemplifies professionalism and supports women in all fields, frankly. And this year, of course, as many of you have heard, the Chamber of Commerce chose to honor our very own Executive Director of Strategic Engagement. So if you join me in an official congratulations for Kelly Roeder-Tonelli, who will be celebrated next week. So Kelly, congratulations. I want to thank Pete again for his extraordinary partnership. And boy, oh boy, did the EBC really set the bar high for future groups coming to do presentations for the board. Thank you so much. I do want to thank our federal delegation. Congresswoman Underwood allocated significant resources a couple of legislative cycles ago. Appreciate her support when Senator Tammy Duckworth was on site. She wanted to see a few things. She wanted to see the Veteran Center, and she wanted an audience with the EBC. And the EBC got together, brought some of their clients to meet with Senator Duckworth. So appreciate that. Additionally, this year, Senator Durbin has allocated $800,000, and that's past Senate appropriations and moves on to the House and the Senate. So it's not there yet. But many who served on this board for some years know that we've opted out of the SBA, SBDC model and are funding and supporting this strategic direction on our own and with the help of our federal delegation. So on behalf of JJC, wish to thank Senators Duckworth, Senators Durbin, and of course, Congresswoman Underwood for supporting that vision and that strategic direction. So I want to just start with some items before the board today. We have 6 unions on campus, and the administration, the board, maintains very positive relationships with all of our unions. This is yet another agreement that we bring to the board today. And I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the bargaining teams, who work together to develop, derive consensus on any number of issues. Just a positive movement, positive artifact of a process that was very rigorous, and just kudos to all bargaining units involved in this process. The second item is something the board is aware of at this point. This is going to be a really special thing. So before the board today, you're voting on naming rights for Dr. Curtis Crawford and Mrs. Gina Crawford, the Crawford Honors College. It's a significant gift to the college through the foundation, and the Crawford family has been generously supporting the college for decades now. Despite their generous support, and perhaps in addition to their generous support, they are making a historic gift to the college to support the creation, renovation of an existing space, and that will support dozens, scores, potentially, most likely hundreds of students into the future at the absolute upper echelon of academic preparation. So just want to send a special thanks to the Crawford family, Dr. Crawford, Mrs. Crawford, for believing in us, for trusting us to make good on their expectations and their vision for an honors college. And for those of you who perhaps are right now Googling honors colleges at community colleges, there aren't many. There might be one, maybe two. What we're creating at JJC is a special place for some of our most high-achieving students in the 7-county region. Those 40,000 high school students, some of the higher-achieving students will come to JJC as a result of this gift. And lastly, of course, on the agenda today, the board will see the Title IX policy. And I'll share just a couple of things in advance of your consideration here. And I understand other trustees will share as well. But I'll boil everything down and we'll have more time to discuss. And I know Trustee Queenie has some things to offer here as well. But I'll boil all of Title IX down into the following statement. Colleges are required under Title IX to promptly and fairly investigate complaints of sex-based, gender-based discrimination, provide supportive measures, ensure non-discrimination, train staff, protect against retaliation, and take corrective action while maintaining confidentiality and equitable processes for all parties involved. And so I look forward to the board considering that later in the agenda today. Item of critical importance. So I want to share with the board at this point, an initiative that was included in our budget that's part of, how we do some of the big things we've done over the last couple of years here at JJC. Now, on the left-hand side, you've got two logos. There's a 12 by 12 by 12 logo, and there's a Future Wolves logo. On the right, you've got artificial intelligence's depiction of what JJC will look like in 2074. Questionable. It's questionable, all right? There probably won't be another galaxy that forms, Chairman. There probably won't be personalized drones that form, nor will we see skyscrapers on Humboldt. But as a cabinet, we've engaged in a future-focused activity under the design thinking umbrella / suite of tools and offered that out to the college community. As part of the budget, we've set aside significant resources to support projects that are coming from the entire JJC community, $100,000 to support projects from anywhere across the college. My message at convocation was quite clear that innovation, future-focused thinking comes from all parts of the college. And so what I hope is when the deadline hits, and I believe the deadline is quickly approaching on September 16th, I believe, that we will have future-focused projects to select that will change the face of higher education, how community colleges operate far into the future. Just a heads up there for the board. Welcome Week is upon us, or actually passed a few weeks ago. It's amazing to welcome so many students back to campus, and just want to commend all the faculty and staff who were engaged in that event, that series of events, really week-long events. And that's a good segue, I think, to talk numbers, right? Mm-hmm. Historically, for those who have been tracking and who have been on the board for some time, you'll know that each fall semester, we can expect about 100,000 credit hours at JJC. I mean, that makes us one of the largest institutions of higher education in the state of Illinois. So I just want to take a moment for you to digest some of the numbers you're seeing. I've asked the staff to come up with, some historical numbers, and you'll see 2019 to 2020, of course, there was a huge drop. Historically, the average has been about 100,000. Over the last couple of years, we've remained stable, and this year, we're way up. We're way up in enrollment. And that's a credit to a lot of people, from those in our strategic enrollment management area, to our faculty who deliver our product, to all the services that we have created to support students holistically. The product that we're offering at JJC is an excellent one. It's an extraordinary one. It's an outstanding experience that our students get. No way to segue to that, but I'll try. We have a new student game room. Maybe it's part of the student experience. So a couple of weeks ago, the cabinet ended cabinet early. We wanted to highlight all of the cool games that are part of the new student game room. And so you'll see on display here, Dr. Aswinkle, I'm not sure, is that puck going past your hand or are you hitting it for? Nonetheless, you'll see Kelly Roeder-Tonelli and Dr. Irvin. That they're not posed in that picture. In fact, if you zoom in, there's sweat dripping down. And also in the upper left-hand corner, Karen Kissel. It looks as though that game was competitive. The game was not competitive. So new student gaming room, I think, is a really cool thing here at JJC. I had an opportunity, and I want to thank Ji-Hang Lee, the president and CEO of the Association of Community College Trustees, for inviting his advisory group of presidents to visit a technology company in Cupertino. It's not supposed to say Apple there. It's supposed to say a technology company in Cupertino, Chairman, but here it is. So we got a tour of the Apple headquarters. Most people aren't allowed in the Apple headquarters, so some of the things that are on display there, I'm sworn to secrecy. But it was an amazing event, amazing visit for 20 of us. The Illinois Community College President's Council got together recently to finalize and formalize our legislative agenda, share best practices, share all the really cool innovations that we've got going on, and that happened in Monticello, Illinois, which is a place I did not know existed until this event. And toward the end here, we've been asked about 12 by 12 in different areas. This remains something to be very proud of. So I just want to let you sit with some of these numbers. Over the past 6 years, the average credit hours produced in dual credit has been about 13,800 and some change. And you'll see it's sort of been steady until, of course, last year when we set a record of 16,151 credit hours in dual credit. And that was certainly something to be celebrated. It means over 1,000 new students participate in dual credit, earned college credit as high school students. Participation in dual credit, of course, is and remains a leading measure for college access and success. It means they're more prepared when they get here. They're more likely to be here and more likely to be prepared once they get here. But here we are on September 11th, few weeks into the fall semester with the numbers not yet finalized, and we've set yet another record in dual credit, solidifying our place at the forefront of dual credit in the state of Illinois. So while we were celebrating 16,000 last year, on September 11th of this year, we're here celebrating 18,600 credit hours produced in dual credit, and the books aren't closed just yet. I want to send a huge thanks to Dr. Amy Gray and her leadership in this area. Part of the reason so many students are enrolled sooner this year than last year is through the successful implementation of a system called Dual Enroll. And while I'm at it, I'm going to give Dr. Ostwinkle kudos as well. And many of the cabinet members were involved in the implementation. It means that there's no paper anymore for registering. Imagine, we set records last year and all that was done through paper processes. Now, it's all done through the dual enroll system that connects all 26 feeder high schools and our 40,000 high school students. Dual enroll also allows us to open up dual credit to freshmen and sophomore students. So that's attributed, and that's the reason for some of the growth is freshmen and sophomores, high-achieving freshmen and sophomores in high school are now able to earn credit at JJC. Now, how many of them will come here?
That's very impressive. Thank you.
Thank you. How many of them will come here? Well, again, you've heard this from me before, but we have the numbers now. Foundation set aside $500,000. And my calculations were they'd probably draw that down in 3 to 4 years. And I think we're probably, Christy Mulvey, on track. This fall alone, we awarded 164 scholarships, $500 scholarships for students who earned 12 credits and decided, you know what, instead of going to a university, no offense, or university partners, JJC is a great option. And we have 164 new students who cashed that $500 check. So again, Christy, thank you for your leadership and for bringing the foundation alongside this great initiative. And I hope the foundation and its members are proud of its success. I will see you all at the Night of Stars tomorrow. Chairman, I yield back. Thank you.
Can I ask a question? Can I? In regards to the 12 by 12 by 12, when you showed the numbers that are up there, does that show enrollment or does that show passed that they've earned? What does the number count show and mean? Because I'm trying to understand the dual enrollment.
So let's just say there are 6,000 students participating in dual enrollment across our district. If they're all taking one 3-credit class, that would generate 18,000 credit hours. And that's the number you see there. Now, that simplifies things.
Okay,
a
so
bit.
it's the enrollment, it's not those that, because when you look at the ones previous, like the 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, those are just enrollment. Those aren't the ones that have passed and earned, or if those earned the hours.
Those are credit hours.
But have they earned it though?
They're enrolled.
They're enrolled, but have they earned it? That's what I'm asking. Have they earned it?
Well,
So from 23 past, those
Yeah.
are final numbers.
Yeah.
Here on September 11th, they have not completed the course yet.
Okay, okay.
yeah, we
Thank you.
just started classes.
Yep. Good question. Thank you.
I want to thank you for all of your hard work, Dr. Namua, because you've only been here for 2 years, and you've implemented a 12 by 12 by 12 program. You've also managed to have our school receive the HSI, I don't want to, I'm probably using the wrong word, accreditation or certification, but we've got the designation. That's what I'm looking for. Right, but we got the HSI designation, which qualifies us to receive millions of dollars in federal funding. So your performance has been spectacular in these short 2 years. You've accomplished quite a bit. So thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 1.5, at this time, the chair requests a motion to go into closed session under 2C1, 2C11, and 2C5.
So moved.
Second. Trustee Queenie?
Yes.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
Yeah.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Pazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 1.6, I need a motion to return to public session.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
No, I think we should wait for Trustee Lee.
Trustee Garcia Guillen?
Yes.
Trustee Queenie?
Yes.
Trustee Pazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 1.10.1, approval of minutes for the regular meeting held on August 20th of 2024.
So moved.
Second.
I have some questions. Give me a second to pull up the minutes. First of all, could you please tell me how we did, because when I asked how it was changed from the 14th to the 20th, I got the message back from the chair that said the attorney said it. Brian, could you explain how the meeting got changed from the 14th to the 20th?
I don't understand your question.
It was set for the 14th.
Yeah.
We changed it to the 20th. How did it get changed?
I don't recall.
Maybe people were not available for the
I
14th and there
requested a
was a
change because
consensus.
there was multiple conflicts, including the convocation.
Yeah.
2 trustees that couldn't make it. I wasn't going to be able to make it. I was actually traveling from St. Louis that day. We wouldn't have had a quorum.
Well, that's why I'm asking, how did we identify changing the meeting? Because in our policy, it says that we have to have the chair and a quorum of the board members identify that we want to change it to a specific date. And I kept asking when the specific date was going to be, and I finally found out 3 weeks after that it was going to be on the 20th, because I heard the 20th and the 22nd, I couldn't do the 21st. So I'm asking, when did it become?
So it became an official date after you had walked out of the last meeting when we were on
How is this
campus.
beneficial for the employees or the staff or the students? I say we move on. Point of
I
order.
say we're looking at policy, Ms. Morales. It says regular meetings of the board.
No, wait, point of order. We're looking at notes. We're here to approve the notes from
Minutes.
the
Yes,
last.
but I'm asking about if it's a legitimate meeting
happened.
moved from whatever. It says it can be postponed or done by notification of the chairperson of the board upon agreement by a majority of the board. When did that occur? Because I listened to the minutes, I went in and listened to them, and I didn't hear that all of them were agreeing to the 20th. It was dates were thrown out. So that's what I'm asking, Brian.
I don't know when it was agreed to. I was told it was agreed to and the due date was set.
I believe we received messages from our secretary and did a consensus. And then
I think we agreed to it at the retreat.
We did agree to it at
That's what I
retreat.
We agreed to it at
Oh,
the
yes,
retreat.
yes, because you did leave. You're right.
But
You
again,
did.
this conversation is on the approval of the notes,
the
not
minutes.
minutes of the retreat.
Okay,
These are board meeting notes.
well, then there are some things that I need corrected in the minutes. Since you guys are saying that in regards to when you made the change. In regards to the minutes, I'm looking at some information that was missing. And a correction on 1.9.3, we need to remove emergency and just put special only. Under 1.10, approval of agenda, I motion no, and I gave a reason. I don't see the reason in there as to why I did not approve the agenda, which I specifically said that I had asked for items to be put on the agenda that were not on, or not even included, or not even able to be put on. Because when one trustee asks, it should be put on. You don't need a group to put it on, only one trustee can ask for something.
I think we've addressed this before, that they don't have to be verbatim.
Okay,
I would like to see, you guys have everything put verbatim of what you say. I want people to know why I voted no, because I couldn't get items on the agenda. I've tried 3 times now to get items on the agenda, and it doesn't work, so that's why I voted no.
okay.
Then when we go to 3.1, listing of the bills, approval of the bills, I voted nay, and I said because of the bill to KGG for $31,000. I said I thought you all should pull that one because we have never experienced a bill that high. And if you look at what I sent to you in regards to, and I'll leave that at the later point. And then when we get to the censuring part, where is it at? Where's the censuring?
4.3.
It's 4.31 and 4.4. Trustee Lee did give a speech, and I don't see anything in here that relates to Trustee Lee made a statement of what she had said. I don't see that.
Once again, Trustee Broderick, these are not verbatim. Your nay vote was
There
recorded as a
should be
nay.
a reference
No,
in
it
there.
should not.
Yes,
It
there
does
should.
not
Yes,
have to
there
be.
should. Yes,
No,
there should.
Brian,
So can I refer to the attorney for a response on this?
Under Robert's Rules of Order, the minutes should contain mainly a record of what was done at the meeting, not what was said by the members. That's section 48.2.
Okay, so I'm gonna just identify we're missing the recap, we're missing that. And under the representative ICCTA report, it says gave a recap of that meeting. What was the recap? I didn't see a recap.
Again,
then
he
when we
just
go
said
back-
the verbatim isn't going to be printed in there.
they can watch the video.
You know what, we're changing from what we've had. We've always had information in there so that the people that are reading these minutes know why people are doing and saying things.
They can watch the video. We have a video available also. Okay, can we move on?
And then the other thing I'm gonna ask is, under 4.5, 202, 2024 RO3 affirming policy, why is that being brought back when we didn't get a second last time?
Can bring it back. There was never a postponement of it. It wasn't pushed.
Okay, so
to-
you are deciding, you and the president are deciding to bring it back, because you're the two that makes the agenda.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, roll call? Sorry.
Sorry, anyone else have any comment on the meeting notes?
No.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Queenie?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
No.
Trustee Garcia again?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Buzinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 1.11, the approval of agenda as amended previously.
So moved.
Second.
I have a comment. I've asked to have an item put on the agenda, which was under policy 01.04.00, of which we're in violation of now, because that's where conflict of interest comes in. And our current vice chair, Trustee Morales, is the supervisor on the township supervisor at the Joliet Township office. And that is identified as a conflict. It needs to be brought before the entire board for the board to know. And that's what's specifically in the first paragraph of 1.04.00. And that's why I asked for it to be put on the agenda. And you guys keep neglecting it, and we're violating this policy right now.
I'm going to defer to our attorney.
I've provided an opinion to the president, to the chairman that there is no conflict. I contacted ICCTA or I'm sorry, ICCB, Dr. Durham, he said there was no conflict. A formal opinion was requested. A formal opinion was provided by ICCB, which said there's no conflict.
I
But
also
Brian,
checked
under
with,
the policy,
my attorney,
Under the
and there's-
policy, it says.
there's no conflict.
That it has to be brought immediately to the board in our policy. So whether you got a letter or not, the policy states that it has to be brought and discussed before the whole board, because it is a conflict.
We're discussing it.
ICCB is not legal opinion, they are just one of the ones that provide information for us. But we should all have that brought on the agenda, which it has never been brought on the agenda. We are missing it.
We're not missing anything. It's not,
Yes, we are.
it's not
You should-
debatable.
You took the position on July 16th.
Yes.
You should have disclosed it immediately at the board meeting.
It was public knowledge. Okay, can we move on?
Any other questions or comments on the agenda?
No.
Karen, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Queenie?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
No.
Trustee Garcia again?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
No.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 1.12, approval of consent agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
I'd like to have two items pulled, 3.1 and 3.2.1.
Okay, and I'm also going to pull item 3.2.3. Any other items by the board?
No.
Karen, can you do the roll, please?
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Yes.
Trustee Garcia again?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
Yes.
Trustee Queenie?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Pulled item 3.1, approval to pay the listing of bills for the period ending August 31st, 2024 as presented.
So moved. Second.
My concern falls on two items. One is for the Association of Community College Trustees, where we had Pam Fisher come in. None of the board knew about that Pam was coming in, other than it was arranged by, I would think, the chair and the president. It's over $7,000. And last year, it happened the same thing too. We were not informed. This has to be brought before the board before you can retain or invite somebody to our colleges, because the ICCTA provides this service for free. And for us to pay over $7,000, that should be brought before the board. The other item too is KGG. I'm looking at almost $14,000 in legal bills again. And there was an email sent to you because I asked to have all of RCK bills pulled for the past year and a half. And none of them has gotten over $8,400. That was the highest one. I am concerned as to the escalation of the cost of these bills. And maybe we should go back to RCK since they have the lower bills, or we should take on Robin Schwartz and not have to pay such a high fee for time of learning versus actual legal.
This is not time of learning, Maureen. We have become a very problematic board, and he has a lot of billable hours to sort through all of your issues that you have. So these
Well,
are
you can-
legitimate legal
You can say-
billable hours. It's
can
not
s-
that he's on a learning curve. He knows what he's doing.
Well, he's never been on a higher
Oh
education
my-
board, dealing with a higher education board, and I think we need to bring Robin Schwartz back and bring them in to get them affirmed, because I think when we're looking at what our bills are, 31,000 last month is what we paid. This one is almost 14,000. I'm having a hard time with dollar
Then
amounts.
stop making issues. Let's move
Then
on.
stop causing the issues, because the cause and the effect.
You're
okay?
causing them.
No, I'm not.
Point of order. Anyone else have any comments to the listing
No.
of bills?
No.
No. Roll call.
We're ready for the vote.
Trustee Garcia again?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
No.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
No.
Trustee Queenie?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3.2.1, the bid for the Mental Health and Awareness Center.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
I don't know who I asked this question of. I see that we're going with Reed Construction, and I'm looking at the difference of the bidding and everything. I know we're supposed to take the lowest one. have we had experience with Reed Construction before? Because I know we've had experience with Henry Brothers, so that's why I'm asking. So you're confident, Pat, with them? Okay, then I'm fine. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Even if we weren't have, even if they didn't have, if we didn't have experience with them, they have a bond that we're still protected. So I just need the community to be aware of that. Thank you.
We're ready for a vote, Karen?
Trustee Garcia Gann?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Bradwick?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
Yes.
Trustee Queenie?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3.2.3, it was requested that this be removed for consideration at this time. This agenda item will most likely come back next month in a different form with additional information.
You need a motion, correct?
You don't need a motion.
No. Okay. Then we're good.
Item 4.1, approval of the naming of the Curtis J. and Mrs. Gina Crawford Honors College.
So moved.
Second.
Ready for the vote?
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
I want to say, Christy, you did a great job working with the family, and I think this is a great contribution with the foundation and you working with them. I think this is great, and that he's an alumni, and you've brought this together.
We're ready for the vote?
Trustee Queenie?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Bradwick?
Yes.
Trustee Garcia Gann?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 4.2, approval of the resolution 2024 R03 affirming policy governance and board communication.
So moved.
Second?
I have some concerns. Right now, I'm looking at an ethics issue, trustee code 01.03.00, which should be read, but I'm sure you all know what the 01.0300 reads as. We're not following policy 01.6500 on policy amendments. We're changing policy 01.10.01 that should be brought before policy committee and hasn't. 01.36.00 board request for information is changed with this resolution. Policy 01.45.01 is affected by this resolution agenda and preparation. President Chair creating this resolution and we're going over policy. We're not involving policy, which I don't understand. It's also got contractual issues with the president in this resolution. The constitutional amendment of freedom of speech is now being removed from the employees and trustees. Our fiduciary duties and responsibilities are being removed. And in addition, it's an OMA violation and will be reported on anyone that does approve it.
That's not valid.
Yes, it is valid.
It's valid.
You're requesting, the
Brian,
OMA violation
attorney.
is you're requesting that all of the trustees reach out to you and Budzinski, which is two trustees. Adding one more trustee to any email communication would be an OMA violation. There is seriously problems with this resolution.
It doesn't say both, it says either or.
No, it doesn't.
Well, I also believe that this is voter interference. Our constituents should be able to reach out to their elected officials at any time. Our cabinet members and employees of this college are also our constituents, and to prohibit them from contacting us is voter interference. It destroys any transparency between the college staff, trustees, and community, prohibiting other trustees from doing our fiduciary duty. It allows the president to hire and fire employees that talk to us trustees. So just so you are aware of the public of what this resolution is doing, it is taking away any of our fiduciary duty as trustees and making us go through the president or the chair and the vice chair. And I'm just wondering, what does the president have to hide? Why are we not allowed to talk to cabinet members? How are we supposed to do our job as trustees in order to make sure the president is doing his job if we are not allowed to talk to any of the cabinet members or employees at this college. This is a serious concern, this resolution, and just goes to show how the chair and vice chair and executive committee of this board are purposely blockading other trustees from doing anything. They do not even want us to speak to the employees at the college. Again, what are you afraid of us finding out? Why are we not allowed to talk to employees at this college? Why is it forced to go through you two?
And the history has been with the other previous presidents, as long as they know that we're talking to a cabinet member, we're allowed to do that. And that's always been where we give the knowledge to the president, they know it, we put it in email, and the person from the cabinet is allowed to talk to us so that we're not going third party. But it does specifically say it goes to the chair and the vice chair from the trustee. That's 3, that's a quorum.
Maureen is exactly right. This changes many policies that have not been changed through policy committee. This resolution is being rushed through, and it is all to give more power to the chair and the vice chair of this college who are coercing with the president and council of the board. So just so the public's aware of what's going on when we pass this resolution.
And I fear for the fact that this could dictate immediate firing of an employee, and I don't like that. They should have the freedom of speech to talk to us if they want, whether we're a citizen
And
or a
to
trustee.
express concerns about the president or anyone at this college, period. This is just destroying transparency between the college and the community. And clearly they're hiding things.
Any other comments?
I have a comment. So this policy does not violate anybody's freedom of speech. We can speak to any cabinet member, any employee. We are just as board members, not to direct work, extra work for them to do. We are not their boss. The only person that we should give any direction or instruction to, if any, is to the president. We hired one person. We didn't hire any of his cabinet members or anybody else because we have trustees on this board that overreach their authority and bully and contact other staff members to do work, and that's not our role. So this is not in violation of any policy. This is simply streamlining the communication to protect the staff so they don't feel bullied, so there are no grievances in the future or anything like that. It's to protect the trustees and them because we are a policy governing board. This does not violate anybody's. Nobody is hiding anything. And I'm just going to deflect it over to our attorney.
There's no violation of Open Meetings Act because it is not a simultaneous communication exchange back and forth like a conversation would be, like a meeting would be. You get communications all the time from Karen and other people at the college that send to all of the board members at once, the board book and other items like that. That's not a violation of OMA. This is not a violation of OMA. This is a request for information. It goes through the chair and the vice chair. They transmit it to the president. He sends it back. It's not an ongoing back and forth, which is what Open Meetings Act is directed.
According to the AG, it is. So I'm just giving you, according to the Attorney General, it is.
You've told me many things according to the AGA.
I'm
but
telling
then when
you.
I get letters from the AGA, they tell me that they're not right.
Well, there's some difference of opinion.
Well, we're done.
Okay, discussion's over.
Yep.
Ready for a vote?
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Queenie?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
No.
Trustee Garcia again?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
No.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 4.3, I call for a motion to take agenda item 4.2.1 from the August 20 meeting from the table.
So moved.
Second.
I need a vote, please.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Garcia again?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
No.
Trustee Queenie?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 4.3.1, approval of 5.0300 Title IX Policy 2024. I need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
I would just like to state for the record and for the public's knowledge that what the very brief description that Dr. Namuo stated earlier is all that would have needed to be included in that policy. However, that is not the only thing that is involved, that is in the policy. There are many, many concerns, again, including that firing of employees, which seems to be a running theme with the resolution and this policy that's going through, if, ever deemed so by the president that he doesn't agree with someone, which he clearly doesn't seem to agree with people quite often. So I am very concerned about this policy and the implications. If it would have been just as simple as what Dr. Namuo said, then I would have voted for it. I do know that we do need a Title IX policy in order to accept our federal funding. It is not my intention that we lose our federal funding, and as was stated, that we will not lose our federal funding for not being compliant as of yet, as many other colleges are not compliant with this very same thing right now. And so there is the site of a grace right now. And so this is being rushed through and has many implications. And I personally do not agree with what is in this policy. It's very dangerous.
I'd just like to say, from the research I've done about the Title IX policy that has come out from the federal legislature, that it's not dangerous and in fact increases protections for members of our who face discrimination beyond sex and gender identities, as well as increasing protections for women who are pregnant on campus. And the policy will further increase protections for those who are discriminated against on the basis of sex and gender.
Except for women. It will
It
not
will
protect
it will
women.
continue to
No, it
protect
doesn't
women as
protect
Point of
women.
order.
It takes away.
Point of
Point of order.
Point of order.
He is speaking.
It will continue to protect women as it has in the past, yes.
No, it just like it removed the term women from scholarships and made us remove women. Now our women's group is now open to all instead of just women's. However, our men's group is still open to men only in its description. And we do
Trustee
have a
Lee,
gender affirming
you're out of
group.
order.
So no, this does affect us and it does
I'm the
does
vice chair.
affect women and women's scholarships. And so this is a big deal, but you can go ahead and sell it how you want, Trustee Queenie.
Thank you. So
Point of order. Trustee.
the men's club, the boys' club, is open to all members of the campus community, regardless of sex and gender, and that has always been the case. Whereas the women's club previously was restricted to members who were only born biologically female. The change now allows it to be more inclusive to all members of the campus community who can identify as female.
And again, we had a pride club to cover those students
Point of
that
order.
were.
Point of order.
We had a pride
Point
club.
of
order.
I haven't had
Point
my
of
5
order.
minutes
He
yet.
is not finished.
Point of order.
And I haven't.
Point of order.
We have a pride club for a gender affirming group for everyone. The women's to women's group could have stayed simply as it was. And again, this is how women's are losing
Point
their
of
rights
order.
and losing,
You're out of
losing
line.
things.
Michelle, come on, be serious.
I am serious.
You're
Women are
embarrassing
losing
us. Then let
their
him
rights.
finish
I'm
his
not
comments.
I've
criticizing
finished my
her.
comments and I'm ready to move
Then
to
I
the
move
vote.
into Trustee
Point of
Garcia.
recognition. As a reminder, this policy focuses on a few different things in order to make sure that we are compliant with Title IX in order to be able to receive federal funding. This is not something that we should be arguing. All the information that we have here is stated on the policy, so this nonsense of going back and forth is not really productive, and it's not helping the bottom line of making sure that we're able to comply with the Title IX policy and making sure that we're able to fulfill our responsibility to be able to continue to receive and adhere to the federal, state, and local civil rights laws prohibiting discrimination and harassment in employment and education. This is going to be for our employees, our staff, our students, so all of this going back and forth and arguing is not going to be really helpful, especially if we cannot do it in a way that is respectful. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the recognition. Back to you, Chair.
We are ready for the vote, please.
Trustee Queenie.
Yes.
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Broderick.
Abstain.
Trustee Garcia again.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
No.
Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 5.1, the student trustee report. Brian Queenie.
I do have a lot to share. I just need to get my report.
You're fine. Can I ask the attorney a question? Can we state for the record that she has left the 6th meeting in a row, twice today, before completion?
I don't think that needs to be in the details, just say she left.
Maybe we should put it in the minutes
But if we're
too.
gonna discuss our fiduciary responsibility, which you keep bringing up, being available for these meetings is one of them. I would just like for the record to show, make sure that the
So
attendance
it's
shows
what
that.
you want, but not what other people want in the minutes.
It's
Got
a
it.
fact.
Yes.
Got it, got it. So we're showing discrimination.
It's not discrimination.
It is too.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the September 11th, 2024 board meeting, and this is the student trustee report for the month of September. So as I have started the last few meetings, I want to share recent events that have happened in the community and around campus. And to start, I want to highlight the OSA Picnic in the Grove, which took place on August 22nd this year, and provided students with an opportunity to meet and interact with various support service offices here on and around campus, including the Tutoring and Learning Center, Office of Student Rights and Responsibilities, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office here on campus, in the Student Rights and Mental Health and Wellness Office, and many other wonderful supports here available to students. I just want to give a quick thank you to the Office of Student Activities for helping put this together, as well as all of the other amazing departments and people here who helped organize this during the first week. Thank you. Then, of course, the next thing I want to share is that voter registration has been taking place in promoting civic engagement here on campus. Both, we had one on the August 26th date, which I shared last board meeting with you all, and we also had one today during Main Street, where students were provided an opportunity to become educated and registered voters in their voting districts and communities. And I wanted to again thank student government, or thank the Office of Student Activities, as well as student government for helping arrange these activities and events on campus. And then after that, on the 6th this month of September, I was able to attend the JJC Addictions Counseling Program that presented Scott Spezio's recovery journey here at the JJC Main Campus Theater. This event was a wonderful, provided members of the JJC community and students with an opportunity to hear the amazing story of recovery that the MLB player Scott Spezio experienced as he recovered from addiction, and how he has turned his story of recovery into a story of empowerment and hope for others struggling with addiction. The event was organized by Heidi Muncy, the JJC Human Services Department advisor, and as well as the JJC Human Services Department and the JJC Addictions Counseling Program, which is new and just started this last fall. This event was put together to kick off their celebration of recovery, or a National Recovery Month in September this year. I just want to thank everyone again who helped make it wonderful. And then to continue, Main Street also began this week, Main Street's one of the best events. If you haven't had a chance to attend, I really highly recommend come out and just see all the students, all the clubs, all the activities. It's so wonderful. Everybody comes out, and it just provides all of our new students an opportunity to meet all the new clubs, and also our student leaders a chance to really show the skills they've been able to acquire in the last year and show what they've been able to do with their club and promote it to the student body and the administration at the college. And then finally, before I talk about the upcoming events, which there's a lot of, so get ready to mark calendars, I wanted to highlight that the MIT Climate Simulator was here on campus today, brought to you by the Sustainability Union, who had a guest speaker. I can't remember their name off the top of my head, but they had brought the MIT Climate Simulator, which helped give the Sustainability Union kind of an insight onto what climate change will look like over the next several years. And they will be doing several events like that continuing out through the semester. So I just wanted to thank them again for that. So then Main Street's happening tomorrow. So like I said, if you haven't been, come check it out. Great event. And there will be lots of clubs and also I'll have a table which I'll highlight more later about further in the report. But then also I wanted to highlight that on the 12th or 13th, there will be a guided nature hike, which was organized by the Natural Sciences Department and the Natural Areas Committee, and will be led by student employee Max Battles, that will begin in the Picnic Grove and take a hike through our beautiful nature trails here on our campus. This will begin at 10 a.m. Then, following that, on the same day on the 13th, yes, there will also be the Student Advisory Committee meeting, as well as the Night of the Stars event at JJC to honor members of the community here who are I got my dates all mixed up. So the 12th Night of the Stars, 13th Student Advisory, excuse me, sorry. Then on the Then on the 14th, JJC's women's soccer will be having a match against the Kishwaukee women's soccer team, where they will play at the main campus starting at 10 a.m. On the Sunday, the 15th, the Romeoville Founders Day Parade will take place, beginning at 2. And then on Monday next week, there will be a flag-raising ceremony outside of the A building to raise the Latinx Heritage flag in honor of Latinx Heritage Month in September. This event will start at 1 p.m., and all members of the JJC community are encouraged to attend and celebrate Latinx Heritage Month with Latinos Unidos. Thank you. Then, again, more events, because we just don't stop, really. But there will also be the 2024 Athena Awards, which Kelly Rochinelli will be honored at this coming next week on the 18th. And then on the On the 20th, the Student Sustainability Committee will be heading down to South Suburban College to attend the SHMEC in-person meeting, which will be the only in-person meeting they have during the fall, but it will be their Sustainable Campus Initiatives Committee meeting that day, starting at 12. And they have also told me to encourage members of the board, and as well as anybody who's interested, to reach out to the office if they're interested in attending this event. And then, of course, there will also be a Latinx Empowerment Conference taking place here at JJC. During the month of September on the 27th, and the conference will start at 12 p.m. in the event center. This year, the theme for the conference is La People y las Artes, which will represent culture and arts. And then many students at JJC will also be very excited to hear that Comfort Zones are returning to campus starting on October 1st, 2024, which will provide students with a nice, relaxing atmosphere to come and have a free cup of soup from OSA and listen to acoustic music performed by student musicians here on campus. And then finally, the last event I want to highlight on campus is the Sustainability Union's Be the Change Challenge, which I distributed booklets to each of you earlier this afternoon, highlighting different events that sustainability has put together that promote learning, acting, and volunteering in your community in sustainably initiative ways to help create a more circular economy and sustainable future. Just so you know, the challenge is open to all members of the college community, including the trustees, and they are encouraged to attend. And please come out and learn, act, volunteer in different ways that you can promote sustainable living in your communities and in your day-to-day lives. Next, I wanted to give you all an update on the student trustee project I've been working on regarding community college baccalaureate degrees here at JJC. So on September 4th this month, the survey from the ICCTA, along with 6 other community colleges, and I don't remember the names off the top of my head right now, have launched surveys regarding these collecting student feedback on interest in baccalaureate degrees at community colleges. On the 9th, we sent out an all-student email to students at JJC. Within a few hours that morning, we had received 131 responses from students who had completed the survey so far. And then I just wanted to let you know, other outreach campaigns have also began. So we have digital platforms we are promoting it on, including flyers and social media. We'll be having an article in the upcoming student newspaper, The Blazer, about the project and the survey. And then I'll be using word of mouth and survey tabling throughout the month of September to promote this on campus to as many students as I can, so we can get data to persuade the legislation in the spring. But I also just wanted to quickly share, we have also, I don't know if any of you saw that when you were walking in today, we have this displaying on 90 monitors across our campus here at JJC, and that is 60 monitors here at main campus, and the rest have been divided between Romeoville and City Center. So thank you everybody for giving me a chance to report, and I look forward to updating you all next month on what it's been going on. So thank you. Questions, yes.
Real quick, can you let us know, maybe even off record, when the next MIT meeting will take place? I'd like to attend one of those.
I will get information from Ash because I don't know when they're coming back, but I will find out from the Sustainability Union and Ash, and I will send it to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you for all your hard work. I appreciate your report.
No problem. Thank you. Yes.
How did the voter registration go for you?
I didn't have a chance to check in today with how it went, but I know on the 26th, or the last day they did in August, it went really well. They had a lot of students coming up who were very interested in getting involved, a lot of high schoolers who had just never had the chance to be engaged.
Good.
Getting a chance to hear about this and then educating them about, go out, learn about what voting is, learn how to research candidates, and I know the library and Student Gov will be putting on a lot of different civic engagement events throughout the next few months leading up to the election to help get people as informed and educated and make sure people are being responsible voters in the
Excellent, great, thank you so much.
No problem, thank you. Are there any other questions?
Ryan, just really, just a comment. I just wanted to acknowledge you and all of your efforts. I've had the great pleasure of working with 4 student trustees at this point, and they're all very different, all have different strengths, all are, in my opinion, exceptional, and you fit that category. You're everywhere, you're always everywhere. You just put forth in your time on the board and as a student advocate, just an extraordinary amount of effort, and I just hope the college community recognizes that, appreciates it, understands it, and we appreciate your partnership, and just congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your kind words.
Thank you.
Item 5.2, representative to the JJC Foundation, Christy Mulvey.
Good evening. Tonight you approve the naming of the Dr. Curtis J. and Mrs. Gina Crawford Honors College, one of very few honors colleges at community colleges throughout the United States. Dr. Crawford is a JJC alum and has donated significant funds to the foundation since 1996. We will formally announce the details of this significant gift at the President's State of the College on October 8th. I'd like to thank you for supporting the naming of this Crawford Honors College. I also want to thank a few people that helped me secure this gift. Dr. Nemuo, Dr. Yolanda Farmer, Dr. Amy Gray, Aaron Farmer, and Honors Program Professor Jack Haynes. But most importantly, thank you, Dr. and Mrs. Crawford, for believing in Joliet Junior College. Tomorrow night, we will be celebrating at our Night of Stars event with a record number of attendees. We are proud to honor several outstanding recipients. The Corporate Partnership Award will be given to Hometown Bank. Maria Rafak will receive the Susan H. Wood Award. Gary Lichtenwalter will receive the Dr. Judy Mitchell Alumni Achievement Award. Mr. Vince McGurr and Mr. Joel Bellman will receive the J.D. Ross Extraordinary Service Award. While last academic year's scholarship total was $1 million, this fall semester we are already at $971,000 worth of financial support for our students. The foundation's annual audit was completed a week ago. We had a clean audit, and I am pleased to tell you that we are currently at $37.5 million in assets, with $21 billion of that in endowed funds. This week was our first inaugural Roots and Branches alumni podcast. It was the idea of Jen Davis, our annual and alumni fund manager. Please listen to the first episode when you have about 30 minutes. It's great, and it's exciting, and it's fun. The podcast will broadcast monthly with very interesting topics. Through the collaboration of Alumni Career Services and the Office of Student Activities, we have our first cohort of the Wiley Student Leadership Academy. I'll be sharing more information on Wiley Student Leadership Academy in the next few months. That's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy.
Thank you.
Item 5.3, we did not have an ICCTA event since our last meeting, so we're going to move on to 5.4.
Can I mention?
No, 5.4, we're going to start with Diane. Trustee updates?
Update. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd like to echo what everyone said about the donor and the hard work that Christy has put in that. We appreciate it. That's a wonderful history, a great legacy for Joliet Junior College, and especially to honor the honor students. And I think, looking forward to the culinary department opening downtown. I have a lot of friends that I meet from time to time for lunch down there, and we're really looking forward to opening back. And thanks for all the hard work for, getting that paperwork done. And I think that's it. That's it. Thank you. Oh, and we'll be going to Springfield on Friday for ICCTA. So hopefully I'll have a good report for you when we come back.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Trustee Broderick?
A couple things. The ICCTA meeting is Friday and Saturday, which is open. Our membership is open to all trustees. However, our budget that was somehow put together does not allow all trustees to go to these meetings, which is now taking away from our abilities to go as a member to the ICCTA. So I think this needs to be resolved because somehow when we got our budget, we got this to look at when it was hidden in this. And I'm very disappointed that you guys did not, because all of a sudden I hear page 160 and the amount is separated. I don't know who came up with these numbers, but we need to relook at that because all trustees should be able to go to the ICCTA. The next thing is, I think, and I'm going to bring back that we should have on the agenda committee as a whole, since we have committee loss with former trustee Mahalik. Do you agree? Committee as a whole?
I'll have to think about that.
This is something that should come back. Committee as a whole. Also, we need to clear up the situation of when we voted on the other law firm, which we went through a lot of discussion on. We need to clear it up because we did ask for Robin Schwartz, and that was never put on the agenda, which you two do put on the agenda. So I don't know where the miscommunication's coming from, but that should be identified as Robin Schwartz as an additional legal firm. And that's my comments.
Trustee Morales?
I just want to thank the foundation for all of the work, the entire team, because it takes a team to make this happen. And so thank you, Christy, for your leadership. And I want to thank all of the cabinet and all the staff for all of your patience and waiting, on this board to come out of, closed session every time. So I just want to thank you all for your patience. And just know that all trustees are able to attend the ICCTA meetings. We are never restricted. However, we do have a budget, and we have to prioritize how that budget is spent. Some people spend it and then they expect more. And, when you run out of your budget, then you don't have any more money to attend any more meetings. So that's where we're at with the budget. But the budget is fine. There's no problem with that. Thank you.
18,000 left last year.
Trustee Garcia again.
Yes, I do have an update. So I wanted to echo and thank the foundation for all your wonderful work over the last few months, years, for everything that you have done. We have been able to accomplish together a lot of different things, including naming the Honors Center, thanks to our wonderful donors. The second thing that I wanted to mention is thank you, Trustee Queenie, for the wonderful presentation about everything that we're doing here on campus. One of the things that stood out for me is the importance of making sure that we as a college are doing different activities to engage and make sure that our students and staff and administration is civically engaged. And that looks a little bit different for everyone depending on a lot of different factors. That could include reminding others to go out and vote, voting yourself if you're able to vote. But all of that is only the first step. After that comes the difficult part of holding the elected officials accountable to make sure that they're representing everyone, not only the people that are voting for them, but other people in that community, in that state, and that includes at the state level, at the local level, state level, and federal level. So I'm glad to see that as the first community college, we are really taking that to heart and focusing on a lot of different things to make sure that our students are given the tools and the information for them to be able to be civically engaged and participate fully in their community. Thank you.
Item 5.5, there will be no chair report at this time. Yes, sir.
I just had three quick things. I wanted to give a quick thank you again to the Crawford family for the donation and for setting up the Honors College here at JJC. And then I also wanted to quickly give a thank you to members of the JJC faculty, staff, and administration who have helped me in the last few months with my project quickly, including Dr. Amy Sims, Kelly Rotonelli, marketing and the members of marketing and creative service team, the JJC student newspaper, The Blazer, members of the print services team, Tim Harmon from the ICCTA, interim vice president Bob Morris, and as well as Dane Mazagato, who has been helping me collect data for spring letter writing campaigns for the project as well. And then the last thing I had was, and I've lost it, so I actually only have two of this. Oh, I just wanted to thank everybody again for helping to get the Title IX policy tonight. I know myself and many other students who rely on federal financial funding for colleges to be in support will be very grateful to see we have this and we'll be able to maintain our compliance status here at JJC.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 6, at this point, the chair is requesting a motion to enter into a closed session under 2C1, 2C5, 2C11, 2C3, and 2C8.
So move.
Second.
Ready for vote, please?
Trustee Garcia again?
Yes.
Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick?
How long is this one gonna take?
That depends on you.
Indefinite. Indefinite. We do not know how long this is going to take.
Just asking. How long are we estimating? Yes.
3 hours.
Oh, wonderful.
Trustee
No.
Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Queenie?
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Well, I adjourned the public session. Yeah, I had
So
worked for a
moved.
while,
Okay.
Markowitz, and he's just, I think he retired now, though.
Because I dealt with all the math and science teachers.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Okay, Trustee Morales?
Yes.
Trustee Harris?
Yes.
Trustee Broderick? Trustee Garcia again?
Maureen, we haven't voted yet. Maureen.
Trustee Queenie?
Not yet.
Trustee Bazinski?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion to adjourn.
Aye.
Can you call a voice vote?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? We're adjourned.